Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here and welcome back to Bookmas. Today's video is going to be what I'm going to call my 24 for 2024, or in just more words, it's going to be the 24 books I want to read in 2024. So my 2024 TBR. I have my whole list right here on my laptop and it might be more than 24 books. And there's also series on here, so it's even more than that. But I just figured that I want to share all the books that I really want to read next year. And then next year, whenever we make this video for 2025, which is actually insane to say that that's a year that is going to exist. But when we make that video, we'll go back to this video and talk about what books I ended up reading or not reading on this TBR. We're gonna start at the bottom of my list and work our way up to the top. And the top are like the books that I'm most excited for. And there are also a mixture of new releases and books that have already been out for a minute. We're gonna go ahead and start at the very bottom. And this is where you're gonna see that things get very ambitious. I want to read the entirety of Lynn Painter's Backlist. As you guys know, I love Better Than the Movies, a 5-star read for me. That book is so cute and defines romance in high school and just young adult romances in general for me. Every young adult romance that I read is compared to that book, and it is just so pure, so cute, and just everything. I also read Mr. Wrong Number by her, which was a new adult romance, and I really enjoyed that one too. So I want to read the rest of her backlist. I'm sure that if I loved 2 books by her already, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy the others. And she just recently came out with Betting on You, which was her recent YA release. And then next year on March 12th, she's coming out with another new adult book, and it's called Happily Never After. So I just want to go through all her books. I love her writing. It's super fun and the perfect rom-com-y vibes, and I am excited. Next up, I really want to finish the Natural series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I've read the first one, which is just called The Naturals, and I absolutely loved it. I think that for 2024, the biggest thing that I really want to get into is reading more mysteries. I read a lot of romance, read a lot of fantasy, so I want to start getting into more genres, and I feel like mysteries is a genre that I've really been loving as of late. And I know there's 4 books in this series, but there's also a novella at the end, and I think it's included in the 4th book, so it's just like one big thing. But this book just made me realize that I love the mystery genre. I'm also reading another mystery book right now with my book club, and I think slowly but surely it's gonna become one of my favorite genres. This book's synopsis, but Cliff Notes version, is basically just young adult criminal minds, and I really like it so far. Speaking of mysteries, another young adult mystery series that I really want to get into, and every time I went to go look at The Naturals in the bookstore, it was always right next to it, and it's the Truly Devious series by Maureen Johnson. I haven't really heard a ton of things about this one. I've just kind of seen it here and there in the book world, but everything that I've heard has been pretty good, and I think I'm really gonna like those as well. Don't really know anything about them, but it is a new author for me, and I'm trying to spread my wings a little bit that way too and read some more new authors too. Next up, kind of random, but we have the Lightning Thief series. Reading was something that I never really did as a kid. I just wasn't involved in it unless it was a comic book or a graphic novel. Sign me up for that. Do you guys remember Baby Mouse? I literally was obsessed with Baby Mouse. So anything that wasn't Baby Mouse, basically, I wouldn't read. And I remember the Percy Jackson series just being super popular during that time when I was growing up, and people still nowadays talk about it, and they say that they absolutely love them even now. And I figured since I went back and read the Harry Potter series the past few years, that I might as well just go ahead and give the Percy Jackson series a chance too. And I feel like I'm gonna like them a lot, and they're YA, so what could go wrong? Okay, I'm back. I had to do a little snack break because I was getting kind of hangry. Next up on our list is going to be Cassandra Clare, and I know that's an author and not a book, but just hear me out. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know there's something to do with Shadowhunters. I don't know if it's the Shadowhunters universe or if it's the Mortal Instruments universe, and like the Shadowhunters is just like a mini series inside that. I don't really understand how it works, but I want to read at least one of her books because I've heard she's an incredible fantasy author, and I love fantasy, so I would love to read something by her. Going along with the theme of fantasy, Caraval. You guys know I absolutely loved Once Upon a Broken Heart series that I read this past year, and this is the prequel that comes before it. I don't know if Stephanie Garber's coming out with something new yet in 2024. Let me look that up right now because I just absolutely love Stephanie Garber's writing. They're almost mysteries, but they're like fairy tale fantasy, but they have so many like mystery elements to it. I just love it. Okay, so it's not like explicitly stated. I'm sure she's coming out with something new, and when she does come out with something new, I will be reading that too. But I do really want to read this series since I just loved her other series so much. Going along with the fantasy genre, I really want to read an Olivia Blake book, specifically One for My Enemy or Alone with You in the Ether. I've heard the most about those two. I mean, she also has the Atlas 6, but I'm not really like as interested in that one. But I just want to read one book by her just because I've heard her writing is very beautiful and lyrical. And the past few books that I've read that are kind of like that, I've really enjoyed. So I feel like I'm gonna like her writing a lot. Another fantasy that I really want to read is the One Dark Window duology by Rachel Gillick. A lot of people have said that this is their favorite read of 2023, so obviously I gotta give it a chance. And all I really know about it is that the main girl, Elspeth, she has to like awaken the monster inside to save her kingdom. Honestly, that could be wrong, but we're just gonna go with it. Look at my cute little Christmas tree. I love it. Next up is the Lightlark series by Alex Astor. The second one just came out recently. It's called Nightbane, and it's a fantasy series about all these rulers of realms coming together to go through trials to like win for their kingdom, I guess. But my friend Olivia really wants to read it, and I feel like it'd be fun to read around the same time together. And I honestly think it sounds really good too, so I'm excited. Next up, we have the Chestnut Springs series. I haven't read it yet, and I really want to. I think the biggest thing was that her mirrored covers went away because she just got like actually published, and I'm totally fine with buying the published covers, but I don't know, it's just like a little bit annoying knowing that if I would have bought them at the time that I did, I probably would have had different covers of the series, and that really bothered me. So I just wanted to wait until the whole series was out in the new covers and I could just buy them all at the same time. Cute cowboy romances, super excited for those. She's also coming out with a new series. I think the first book is called Wild Love. Not sure exactly whenever that's coming out, but I want to get into that immediately. Chestnut Springs is already finished, so I'll try my best to finish that before I read Wild Love if they're like connected in any way. But if not, I honestly might even start out with Wild Love first or like in the middle of Chestnut Springs. I'm not really sure, but I've just heard amazing things about Elsie Silver's writing, and I want to give her a go. Going along with cowboy romances, I also want to read Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, and she also has a new release coming out this year in that series called Swift and Saddled. It comes out on March 25th, and these books just look perfect. They're super short, super sweet, and cute, and I've just heard nothing but great things about it. Next up, this one is kind of random just because I don't really have anything else like it on the list, but I want to read Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I have always wanted to watch the Timothée Chalamet and Saoirse Ronan version of the movie, and I just never have, and I think it's because I've been waiting for myself to read the book, and I do want to get into more classics this year. This was just like the number one that I wanted to read, so that is the only one like that on this list, but I just really want to read it and really want to see what all the hype is about and get into that Little Women world, because I know there's so many different adaptations of it. This book is actually releasing at the end of this year on December 26th. I really want to read the second book in the Divine Rivals duology, Ruthless Vows. Divine Rivals was actually the first book that my book club and I read together, so we're probably going to be reading the second one together too, so it's definitely going to be a book for 2024, and I'm just really excited. I absolutely love the first one, and it left off on a crazy cliffhanger, so I'm gonna need that to get wrapped up. Miss Ross. Divine Rivals is a rivals to lovers romantasy book, but like heavy on the romance. Next up, we have a super highly regarded series in the book world, and that is the Magnolia Park series. All I know about this is that it's very miscommunication-y, very toxic, and it's kind of giving Gossip Girl vibes, but in London. I don't have the original covers, sadly enough, but I still do like the new covers. I think they're pretty cute too. And just like I was talking about with the Chestnut Spring things, a lot of the reason why I waited so long to read a lot of books is just because of the cover oh my god, am I about to say that? The cover conundrum. I love that. But I'm just very excited to read this because I've heard so many things about it, and I really hope that I like it. I know some people don't, so that does make me a little nervous. But these are a lot of people's favorite books of all time, so hopefully I like it. Next up is a very highly anticipated series for me, and I've actually already started the series, but that is Throne of Glass by Miss Sarah J. Maas, along with Crescent City as well, but I do want to read Throne of Glass first. I want to get through the entire Massiverse this year, and I am starting with Assassin's Blade, and all I really know about Throne of Glass so far is that it's about an assassin named Selena Sardothian, and that's really it. But they're YA fantasy, and I am really enjoying it so far. I love Sarah J. Maas. I love the ACOTAR series. I just recently finished that this year, and I'm just so excited to be a part of this world. Do I think that I'm going to finish it before Crescent City 3 comes out? Absolutely not, because it comes out on like January 30th, but we'll see. Who knows what's gonna happen? Do I still have to read 2 books in order to get to this book? Yes, but is it on the list anyways? Of course. That book is Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. This is a part of the Lakefront Billionaire series, and you technically do kind of have to read the rest of the Dreamland Billionaire series to get to this, just because they are all kind of connected. So I have to read the last 2 books in that series, which I'm very excited to do now that this one came out all of a sudden. I don't know why I really wasn't feeling those this year, but now that I'm thinking about it, I did really enjoy the first one, so I'm excited to get back into that series and then move on to this one. I've just heard so many great things about this one. So many people rating this a 5-star, saying this is Lauren Asher's best book that they've read. And she actually has a second one coming out called Love Unwritten. It comes out in summer of 2024 sometime. And I'm just really excited to give these a go. Obviously, they're billionaire romances. And this one specifically is about Julian and Dahlia. And it's in a small town. Like, what more could you want? Next up is the last book that I actually have, and the majority of the rest are going to be new releases. But I really want to read Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I read the first one before this, which is Part of Your World, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite just because it is like a little insta-levy for me, but I did really enjoy her writing, and I've heard that a lot of people absolutely adored this one, and the characters in this one are just incredible, and the representation of like anxiety and mental health in general is just really well done. So I really want to get into this. She also has a new release coming out. It's called Just for the Summer, and it comes out on April 2nd. So I want to get my hands on that as quickly as possible. I also do want to go through her backlist this year, but that's not like a complete must for me. But eventually I do want to read all of her books. Next up, we have 2 new releases by the Queen, Ali Hazelwood. We have Not in Love that comes out on June 11th. I'm pretty sure this is a contemporary adult romance. We don't really know a lot about this one yet. However, I don't think it's going to be another STEMness romance just because the cover art's a lot different, but I'm not really sure what it's about. I'm interested to see just because I do love her books and her writing. And then next up, coming out on February 6th, which is 4 days after my birthday, and when I tell you that I am so excited for this because I just do not know what to expect, Ali Hazelwood is making her fantasy debut. The book is called Bride. I have no idea what it's about. Maybe I should look that up because it does come out pretty soon, so there should be info on it. Okay, so obviously from the cover you might be able to tell that there's like a wolf involved, but it's between like a wolf and a vampire, and I guess it's more of a paranormal romance. I have no idea what to expect from this one, but I'm very excited. Next up, we have a new release from one of my new favorite authors. She wrote The Dead Romantics and The 7-Year Slip. I absolutely adored The Dead Romantics, and The 7-Year Slip is actually going to be my next read, but I've heard so many great things about it. Ashley Poston is coming out with a book called A Novel Love Story, and it comes out on June 25th. And I just love her writing so much. I compare it a little bit to Emily Henry just because it's very almost literary fiction-y with a subplot of romance, which I really enjoy. And she just does a fantastic job telling a story. And the cover, her covers are always so cute. I think this is about a girl, her name's Eileen, and she goes into one of her favorite book series and is like in the book. This sounds incredible. I'm so excited for this. Okay, now we're into the top 3 books that I am most excited to read in 2024. Coming in at number 3, we have Daydream by Hannah Grace. This one is a part of the Maple Hills Icebreaker Wildfire kind of interconnected world, and it comes out on June 4th, and this is Henry's book, and just from everything I remember about Henry, I am so excited. I've been waiting for Henry's book since I read Icebreaker. He is just the ultimate boyfriend material, and I am so excited to see his story. And her covers are also just so cute. Always so cute. Very excited for that one. And then of course, Emily Henry, our queen, she's coming out with Funny Story. This one releases on April 23rd, and I don't know what else to say besides I'm so incredibly excited. The storyline sounds a little messy, but also amazing. It's giving roommates, forced proximity, and at the end it says there's no way that she would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex. Right? This sounds incredible. Even if I didn't read the synopsis, I'd be absolutely excited because I love anything that this woman writes. I love this woman and her authoring skills. Okay, now into the book that I am most excited for this year. It is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. This one sadly comes out July 4th. Now, when I say that I am excited, there is just no word to describe how I feel, in all honesty. This is the sequel to Powerless. I think this is going to be a trilogy. I'm not completely sure. Powerless was a 5-star read for me. I literally ate that book up so quickly. It's an enemies to lovers romantasy. There's trials, there's everything amazing in this book, and Kaiser has me in a chokehold and probably will until the day I die. I just love that man so much. And the FMC is just so strong and just so determined, and she's just so like bad. I love Peyton so much. I'm so excited to see where she goes with this story, and I just hope the books keep getting better and better, and I hope that the hype that I'm feeling towards it doesn't make me disappointed when I read it, because I feel like this year that's happened with a lot of books. So I am a little bit nervous for this release, but I am mainly incredibly ecstatic. Okay, those are all the books on my TBR. Now let's quickly go through and talk about my 5-star predictions, because I think it'd be fun to look back at this next year and see if I guess right about which ones are going to be 5 stars. So let's start from the bottom. I I feel like there's gonna be at least one more 5-star in Lynn Painter's backlist for me. Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross, I think that's gonna be a 5-star just because I love Divine Rivals so much, and I feel like the ending to that duology is just gonna be beautiful and wonderful and amazing. Throne of Glass and Crescent City, I'm really thinking that those are gonna be 5-star series for me, and I feel like it's very self-explanatory. And now up to our top 4, A Novel Love Story by Ashley Poston, Daydream by Hannah Grace, Funny Story by Emily Henry, and Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I already just talked about those. You guys know how much I love those authors and the way that they tell stories, and I'm just so incredibly excited to see what they do with their new books in 2024 and incredibly excited to read them. Okay, that is my official 24 for 2024, or my 2024 TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any thoughts on any of these books or any books that you guys are excited to read in 2024, make sure to leave them down in the comments down below so we can all chat about them. And if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and give it a like and subscribe so you can see more videos like this from me. Alright, I think that's it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys. Divine Revolt. You're hella loud. I love how my heat turns on and is like super loud every time I'm in the middle of filming.